Tag video. I was tagged by the boy Goldie Smell Good. Tag is, well, I chose 7. 7 fragrances in my collection that are my favorite Perfume concentrations. Meet me on the other side of this intro and we're gonna dive into it and I will tell you all about it. See you in just a second. What's going on, everybody? You guessed it, it is your boy, Trey Sense, and we got a little bit of a video, a little bit of a discussion for you. You know how we do it here on the channel. What we got for you today, as I said in the intro, 7, I almost held up 5 fingers again, 7 of my favorite Perfume or EDP concentrations in my collection. Now, for those of you who don't know, Perfume or EDP, EDT, or EDC is just a strength. To my knowledge, I think a cologne concentration is about 20% perfumers alcohol. I think the toilettes are between 20 and 25. The perfumes are between 25 and 30-ish. Or the EDPs are between 25 and 30-ish. I think the perfumes are between 30 and 35-ish. And the extracts are a little bit more, around 40%, depending on who makes it. But that's the breakdown for it. But anyway, that's not what you came here for. You didn't come here for that, did you? What do I have? The first one of my favorite Perfume concentrations, or EDP concentrations, is from the house of Nishane Ani, and it is him. And this is a very nice fragrance. I like it. It is sweet, but at the same time, it is well made. It is youthful, a little bit playful, but at the same time, it is masculine. And when this was in abundance, I'm trying to remember if this has been discontinued or not. Pick up on a little bit of tea note in there. It reminds me a lot of, what is that, by Gucci? Gucci Perfume 2. I get a little bit of that vibe from it, but nonetheless, what I get is a masculine fragrance, okay? But it's not overly masculine. It doesn't smell dated. It's not a fougere. It's not one of those that, you know, you feel like you should be outside by the fireplace chopping wood, or that type of masculine. But it's just a grown-up, playful, romantic date night type of fragrance, in my opinion. It's sweet, which on my skin means it goes super duper sweet. But I was seeing this at places like Nordstrom's Rack for about 20 bucks. And at that price, you can't hardly beat it. One of my favorite perfumes in my collection, and man, it smells so good. This is one of those fragrances, when I do a video like this, I have to kick myself in the, you know, because I think, why aren't you wearing that fragrance more? Why aren't you wearing that fragrance more? So if you're watching this video and you have this one with some cooler temps fixing to come up, well, I say that it's gonna be damn near 100 degrees here by midweek, but still, this is one you may want to dust off and get some spray on. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like a mix between Gucci Guilty and Gucci Perfume 2. Yeah, that's what I get. Yeah, that's it to me. That's what my nose picks up on, a mix between Gucci Guilty and Gucci Perfume 2, which, you know, Gucci Perfume 2 is discontinued and astronomical in price. But get your hands on this one and you're gonna get that same vibe. I like it. One last time, Nishane Ani, him, and that is an EDP. This next one is one I have not had very long, but it's from a house that I adore. The house is Azzaro. It is a flanker to a very popular fragrance, Wanted. They have Wanted, Wanted Tonic, Most Wanted, Wanted by Night, and this one is Most Wanted. Then they have Most Wanted Perfume. Well, this one is a Perfume concentration as well. And this one is just nice. This one is nice. Again, sweet, very modern, very sexy, date night, hoodie, sweater, masculine, macho, machismo type of scent without being over the top or being smoky or fougere or dated or any of that. It's a very, very modern but pleasing fragrance. I'm gonna tell you something, that whole Wanted line, with the exception, I cannot speak for Tonic, but Wanted, Most Wanted, Wanted by Night, they're very sexy fragrances, and they're really good fragrances for the price that you're gonna pay for them. I think you can get 100 ml of that Wanted for about 50 bucks. And that's a lot of juice, and it's a really good fragrance that you're gonna pick up for that price. I really, really think you guys will enjoy it, for those of you who don't have it. Do you need them all? Nah, not necessarily. You don't, but they're all good. I think either one that you get your hands on is going to be pretty good. Real quick, a couple of honorable mentions for perfumes. I could have went with Bentley for Men Intense. I could have went with that one. I could have went with some of the newer stuff that I have, like Kingdom, El Dorado. I could have went with that one. That one would have been a good one. As I just glance at my collection here, there's several, but those are two. Victor and Rolf, Spice Bomb, Night Vision, the EDP. I could have went with that one as well, but I didn't. But anyway, from the house of Azzaro, it is the Most Wanted, and I love this beautiful black bottle. Maybe we two in. Let's get a niche one in and out of the way. This is one of my favorite scents in my collection. I absolutely love this bottle. The presentation is simplistic, but at the same time classy. I really do like the scent. No further ado, it's Ani by Nishane. And I got a really, really good deal on this off Macari. Sweet, gourmandy, a little bit tobacco-y to my nose. It may not be tobacco in there, but something in it gives it a tobacco accord. Some of the notes give it, to my nose, a tobacco accord. Now, tobacco may be listed in the notes. I don't know, because honestly, I never look at a note breakdown, because to me, you look at the note breakdown and it plays with your head, because some of those notes you pick up, some of them you don't. I like to feel what I feel and pick up what I pick up. So that's what I pick up. A sweet, light vanilla, I'm gonna say that's tobacco in there, type of scent. Man, I cannot wait till the weather gets a little bit cooler. You know, I may have a little casual audition or something where we're going to play some pool or something, maybe gonna hang out at the bowling alley, and I get to put on one of my fly Notre Dame hoodies and go shoot some pool or something. This is one I would definitely pull out. Grown man, sexy, masculine, easy to wear. It's not an overly complicated fragrance, but it doesn't smell like something that you're gonna go to the mall and pick up. And it definitely doesn't smell like something that everybody's gonna like and everybody is going to be wearing. Definitely, even though I know it's popular in the fragrance community because guys like me sit here and tell you about it, I do think it's worth picking up, man. I like it. I like it a lot. This is signature scent worthy for me, from the house of Nishane. Nishane, or Nishane, however you pronounce that. And every time I pick up a bottle of Nishane, no matter what it is, I have to think about my trip to Texas and going to the scent room and being there with my two brothers in crime, Manuel from Manuel's House of Aroma and JP from JP Fragrances. Just a beautiful time, and that was a memory I'll never forget. And every time I see a Nishane bottle, I think about that, because remember the little perfumer, Ricardo Ramos, I think was his name, escorted us away from Nishane because he used to work for them. So I actually met one of the perfumers that helped develop this and Fan Your Flames. So like it a lot. That is one of my favorite perfumes. All right, we got 4 more. This next one, I think, is a Parfume concentration as opposed to an EDP, but whatever. And it is one of my favorite scents, period. If I had to only keep 5 fragrances in my collection, one of these would be, not saying it's this particular one, but the house is Chanel, the fragrance is Bleu de Chanel, and this one is the Parfume. And I just like this. To me, this is just a super versatile, everyday, easy to wear type of fragrance. It just smells good. I think this is one you could put on a suit and tie and be fine. You could put on a tuxedo and be fine, or you could put on a polo and some jeans and be fine. I mean, about the only thing I would not wear this fragrance with is probably some hooping shorts. I wouldn't put this on with some hooping shorts, but nonetheless, I do think it is a beautiful, beautiful scent. I still think I may lean slightly closer to the original, the OG Bleu de Chanel, the EDT, as being my favorite because it's just more versatile. It's just so much more versatile. When I think about this one, I do think about more of a classy occasion, dressing up a little bit more, but you can definitely dress this down. It's still designer, even though it's Chanel, it's still designer. But I do like this fragrance right here, Bleu de Chanel, the Perfume. Let's get a cheapie on this list, and then I'm gonna close it out with two from the same house. This is one that I don't think gets the love that it deserves. And it's a flanker, and it's a flanker from a house that I have a lot of. The house is Davidoff. The OG is Cool Water. This is Cool Water Intense, which is a Parfum concentration. And I wore this the other day. This is a beastly fragrance. It projects extremely well. It's really sweet, much like all of the rest of these that I've talked about. It's a very sweet, it's a very modern, but at the same time a little bit playful, but still keeps its masculinity. And that's what I like about it. Now this one almost could be considered nuclear. I like Cool Water's Parfum. It's a little bit more refined. You know what I mean? This is that younger brother of the five brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's 4 or 5 of them, because everybody's got that family in town where they had a lot of brothers, you know, and the oldest brother, the further down the chain you go, when you get to that baby boy, he just reckless. You know what I'm saying? It may be even a situation where the oldest brother made it to the NFL, but they like, the baby boy was the most talented, but he just, you know, couldn't get it together. Well, that's what this is. That's what this is. When you think about Cool Water's stuff like Run Wild and again, Cool Water's Parfum and Street Fighter and all of those, other new Grapefruit and Sage, which is a beautiful scent. All those are just, this one out projects all of them. Cool Water's Parfum is a very, very well made, well blended fragrance that does exactly what it's supposed to do. It retains the Cool Water DNA, but at the same time, you know, it's a little bit more refined and a little bit more. This bad boy right here comes in the door like Flavor Flav. It's a yeah, boy. You know, that's what this one does. But I like it. I like it a lot. And again, I think it's one that you can get away with 3 or 4 seasons. Again, it is intoxicatingly sweet to me off of my skin. But I like it because you get some of that freshness that you get from the OG Cool Water, as well as some of that green and some of that aquatic. Mix in with a little bit of Ambroxan and a sweet, sweet smell. If you haven't picked this one up, come on guys. I need you to get this one in your collection. Cool Water Intense. I'm gonna say Parfum. Okay. Now we're gonna close it out. I got 2 more and we're fixing to go on a YSL run. A YSL Y run. The first one I want to talk to you about, this one smells good. I wore this one the other day and I got 4 or 5 unsolicited compliments from females. I mean, I'm just going about my day, minding my own business. And YSL Y Parfum. Don't judge me. I'm having a moment. This just smells so good to me. This just, for me, this is almost signature scent worthy. For me, I just love it. It's modern. Again, you have some sweetness. And for me, I don't mind the sweet fragrance. I've had to give in and understand that sweet fragrances on my skin, for whatever reason, just go extra sweet, but that's okay. Especially if it's a masculine type of sweet. And these are very, I think I could just about smell like that all day. You retain, again, and it's important to me with a flanker that you see the progression, but you understand the DNA of the fragrance. I don't want a flanker that's completely opposite of the OG. I don't name it something else. I want the DNA of the original. And I think YSL did a really good job with this whole line of keeping some of the DNA from the original, but just tweaking it here, there, just a little bit. And this one, you have the original DNA. But just a little bit smoother, a little bit deeper and richer, and a little bit sweeter. Everything that you would expect from a parfum. Now, don't sleep on YSL Y, period, because it is a good fragrance in its own. I think the flankers surpassed it, but I think YSL Y is still a good fragrance. But YSL Y Parfum, man, one of my favorites. Next one on this list, and the last one on this list, and another one from the YSL house, from the Y line, and it is La Parfum, or Les Parfums. Again, this fragrance just reminds me of being a man in his 40s, late 40s at that, that's very proud. I feel like I carry myself like a man in his 40s. I conduct my business like a man in his 40s. I dress like a man in his 40s. And I want to smell like a man in his 40s. But because, I mean, what does that mean? It just means you old enough to know better, but you're still young enough to do it anyway. That to me sums up my 40s. And this right here, this fragrance, it just embodies all of that. I absolutely love it. Man, some of my favorite from the entire house of YSL are these last two that I just talked about. YSL Y Parfum and La Parfum. Great. And again, this is nice slacks, nice sweater, you know, Coogi down to the socks, like, you know, Biggie Smalls would say. Just nice. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do something, you know, like grown folks would do. You know, say, you know, you're going to a comedy show and gonna listen to a live band or something. Just something to give you a reason to put on some shoes. And for those of you who don't know what shoes are, we wear them in the South, which y'all probably wear them wherever you at. But in the South, we call them shoes. Most of the times they don't tie. And if they do tie, you know, there's something like Stacey Adams or something like that. Those are shoes, or Steve Madden's or something like that. You know, dress shoes, church shoes, whatever. Just something that you gotta, you know, you gotta come equipped with. You gotta put on your nice watch and your shoes, and, you know, make sure your hair and everything is right. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. We stepping out tonight. I'm gonna be clean. You put on your dress and your heels. Let's go somewhere nice and just be grown folks. We done worked hard all week. Let's go do that. You know what I mean? YSL's Y La Parfum just to me embodies that. Man, I'm sorry. I gotta give myself a spray of this if I can find. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to spray myself in the eye. Even though with these binoculars on, it would not hurt. Oh man, I only have to put that up the nose. I only have to put. That's nice. That's real nice. That right there. YSL Y La Parfum. That rounds out my list of 7 parfums in my collection that are some of my favorite parfum fragrances. Again, shout out to the homeboy Goldie Smell Good for tagging me in this. I'm gonna tag some people, but I don't know who's. I tell you what, consider this an open tag. Just consider the open tag. Any reviewer that sees this and you feel like doing it, knock yourself out and do it. With that being said, man, you already know. I hope everybody's week has started off good. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. When you see this, it'll be Tuesday morning. So let's get it. Let's get to that bag and get to that swag. Anyway, I appreciate you all for always being the best part of this channel. Always feel free to be active, as active as you want to in the comments. It doesn't matter to me if you make multiple comments, it's perfectly fine. And yeah, y'all know the drill. I love you all, and may God bless you all. And until next time, guys, peace.